In this video, we'll be taking a look at 2 NHL games happening on May 20th, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 2 NHL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 2 betting picks a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. New York Rangers versus Carolina Hurricanes. The New York Rangers faced the Carolina Hurricanes in Game 2 of the second round after an overtime Game 1. The Rangers looked poised to pull off the upset with a 1-0 lead, but the Hurricanes scored in the final minutes of Game 1 to force overtime and eventually score the game-winning goal in the extra period. The Rangers are hoping to even up the series, while the Hurricanes are looking to win again on their home ice and take a 2-0 series lead, and the upcoming game should be another great one following an exciting Game 1. The Carolina Hurricanes will look to take a commanding 2-0 lead in their series versus New York. In Game 1, the Hurricanes picked up a 2-1 win in overtime. During the regular season, the Hurricanes have scored 278 goals, giving them an average of 3.38. This output gives them a rank of 9th among NHL teams. On defense, Carolina is the first-ranked unit, giving up 2.44 goals per contest. For the year, the Hurricanes have played the 30th toughest schedule in the league, and when taking into account Carolina's scoring margin relative to the quality of their competition, they come in with a power ranking of 4th in the NHL. The New York Rangers come into this road playoff game trailing the series 1-0 after falling to Carolina in Game 1. During the regular season, New York found the net 254 times, good for a rank of 16th among NHL teams. Heading into the game, New York is the second-ranked defensive team, allowing opponents to score at an average rate of 2.49 goals per game. For the year, the Rangers have a strength of schedule rating of 24th in the league. When diving into their opponent-adjusted scoring margin, they come into this game as the 9th-ranked team in the NHL. The Rangers' offense looks to step up and find the back of the net throughout the game, with Chris Kreider, Mika Zibanejad, and the rest of the forward unit crashing the net on the rush and creating open shots on the net with great puck movement. The Rangers also look to limit the Hurricanes' offense, with Adam Fox, K'Andre Miller, and the rest of the defensive unit continuing to control the puck in the defensive zone and limit the Hurricanes from finding open shots on the net, allowing goaltender Igor Shesterkin to make plenty of big saves in the net. The New York Rangers have been arguably the best team in the sport and were an open goal miss away from winning Game 1 of this series on Wednesday. Igor Shesterkin has been a solid goalie throughout the postseason and matches up well against this Carolina Hurricanes offense. I do not believe in the backup goalie situation in Carolina, as Frederik Andersen is still missing games due to injury. The Rangers are 35-17 in their previous 52 games against the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes won Game 1 and remain undefeated on their home ice in the playoffs, making it easy to think that they will win Game 2 on their home ice as well. However, the Rangers controlled the majority of Game 1 and look to make a statement with a strong performance in the upcoming game. The New York Rangers played very well in Game 1 of the series, only to come up short with a loss in overtime, but will bounce back with a victory on the road in Game 2 on Friday. So the New York Rangers money line is our full game side pick. The Hurricanes look to build off a 1-goal game and limit the Rangers' offense, with Brady Skjei, Brett Pesce, and the rest of the defensive unit creating turnovers at the blue line and limiting the Rangers from establishing a strong offensive zone presence, while goaltender Antti Raanta makes plenty of big saves in the net. The Rangers, who allowed only 1 goal in regulation of Game 1, should eliminate the Hurricanes' offense, with Adam Fox, K'Andre Miller, Jacob Trouba, and the rest of the defensive unit forcing turnovers in the neutral zone and defensive zone, while goaltender Igor Shesterkin blanks shots on the net. These teams were incredibly solid on the defensive side of the ice as they combined for 3 goals in the Game 1 overtime showdown on Wednesday. Both teams have done pretty well on the penalty kill to begin their postseason runs. The under has hit in 4 of the last 5 games played in Carolina between these teams. Both teams have been carried by their defenses throughout the season, and in Game 1 and the upcoming game should reflect that, with both defensive units stepping up and controlling this game from the opening puck drop. This will be another low-scoring game with both defenses stepping up. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Edmonton Oilers versus Calgary Flames. The Edmonton Oilers faced the Calgary Flames in Game 2 of the second round after a wild 9-6 Game 1. The Oilers scored 6 goals in the first game, but the defense unraveled and cost them and hoped to improve in the upcoming game. The Flames, meanwhile, scored 2 goals in the first minute and never looked back to take a 1-0 series lead and hope to win the upcoming game as well on their home ice. Edmonton is 17-7 in their last 24 games overall and 7-3 in their last 10 road games, while the under is 4-1 in their last 5 games as an underdog. Calgary is 25-9 in their last 34 home games and 35-16 in their last 51 games overall, while the under is 6-2-1 in their last 9 games as a favorite. After blowing a 4-goal lead midway through Game 1, Calgary stormed back and won a wild game 9-6. The Flames' offense took much of the series off against Dallas, but looks to be back in force after winning their last 2 games while scoring 12 goals. After a few scares in the first round, Calgary really needed to wake up, and it looks like they have snapped out of it. Ideally, they won't give up 6 goals in a game again, but the fact that they gave up 6 and still won by 3 is a good sign. The Flames had the NHL's 3rd best goal prevention in the regular season, which they showed against Dallas in the first round. Daryl Sutter will have adjustments ready to execute to avoid a repeat, including the regular season and playoffs. The Flames are now 3-0 at home against the Oilers, outscoring them a combined 21-12. Again, that average of 4 goals allowed per game is far from ideal, but that 7 goals scored per game will make up for it. This series isn't going to have ridiculous scores in every game, and when there is less of a margin of error, the advantage goes to the Flames. I get the case to be made across the board here, as the rivalry aspect between Edmonton and Calgary throws a whole new wrinkle into your typical playoff series. However, the home team has dominated the head-to-head between these two this season, and while Game 1 was a barn burner, it doesn't erase the fact that Calgary scored 18 goals in the last 2 meetings with Edmonton. I think the Flames, no pun intended, caught fire in Game 1, and I think it carries over here. All season long, Calgary had better numbers and league rankings in both scoring and goal prevention. They showed it in Game 1 and should take full advantage of home ice to go up 2-0 heading to Edmonton. So the Calgary Flames money line is our full game side pick. The Flames are coming off a 9-goal game and should find the back of the net throughout the game with Johnny Gaudreau, Matthew Tkachuk, and the rest of the forward unit overwhelming the Oilers' defense with speed in all 3 zones while creating open shots with great puck movement in the offensive zone. The Oilers, who have scored 33 goals in the playoffs, should run up the score with Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Zach Hyman, and the rest of the forward unit crashing the net on the rush and establishing a strong offensive zone presence, while Cody Ceci and Evan Bouchard pick apart the Flames' defense from the point. Containment seems to be an afterthought for the Flames and Oilers when they go head-to-head. In their 5 matchups throughout the regular season and playoffs, there have been 48 total goals scored for an average game total of 9.6. The Flames' top line combined for 301 points in the regular season. The Oilers rotate their top line's right winger, but the stalwarts of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl combined for 233 points alone. There is plenty of high-powered offense between these teams, and that has been on display game after game. There is potential for even more offense given how much these teams don't like either other and are prone to getting chippy. There were 7 total power plays in Game 1, and there is always potential for more in the Battle of Alberta. Both teams have been led by their offenses throughout the season and in this series, and Game 2 should reflect that, with both forward units continuing to pile on the goals and building off a 15-goal Game 1. This will be a high-scoring game controlled by both offenses. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.